This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
Good morning and welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're live from Kelly's Furniture and Carpet Wood, and we're in the kitchen, which means it's time for our cooking segment. We're here with Chef Dwayne Wood from Ottumwa Regional Health Center here this morning, and you're going to show us how to make mozzarella stuffed meatballs.
Yes, I am. I'm going to share this recipe with you guys. And first, before we get started on the meatballs, obviously you want to go with what us Italians call is gravy. So it is basically you saute some onions and garlic in olive oil and add a little bit of red wine, let it reduce a little bit, add some tomato paste for depth of flavor, a can of tomato sauce, and a can of diced tomatoes.
Oh, smells delicious.
Diced. Let it simmer for a while, let the flavors meld, and of course Italian seasoning, which always is great. And I always like to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese to it as well, which just kind of gives it a little bit of thickness and that cheesy flavor to it as well.
You can really smell that wine coming off of it too. It smells delicious.
And if you'd like a cup, there's some more for you. Okay, moving on to the meatballs. Okay, you can start with 1.5 pounds. We're actually doubling the recipe here because I'm going to feed them today. But and you can use a combination of beef, pork, veal, any type of ground meat. I prefer beef. It's just easy to work with, but again, those other flavors will come together. So basically, we have 3 pounds of ground beef here.
Okay.
We have 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs and also the Parmesan cheese. I just mixed them all together, and we're going to dump that in there.
Okay.
And what the breadcrumbs does is helps it bind.
Okay.
And then it also absorbs some of the fat, which is flavor. Fat is flavor. Okay, we have 2 teaspoons of garlic powder.
Ooh.
Or you can use fresh garlic. My recommendation is if you do, you chop it up very fine, but the garlic powder works. We have 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce.
Ooh.
We have some dried parsley, 2 teaspoons of that. We also want to add 4 eggs, and I just saw a shell in there, so I'm going to try to get them in here without the shell.
Oh, I see it.
Nope.
Oh, well, a little crunch. No, I'm just kidding. Got that out. And then also some grated onion. Just take your typical box grater, grate your onion. It makes it a much smaller, finer piece and mixes well together. And then we are just going to start mixing this. And of course, I never bring a big bowl, but we'll get there.
So you just want to mix it all together?
You just want to mix it so it's, you get your hands in there. And again, I'd recommend gloves if you have them, just to prevent any spread, but and it makes it easier to work with, but you're really just going to mix it all together and get it going. And then in the oven we have already made a tray of them so that they're ready. But then what we're going to do again is we're going to try to get this mixed up.
So do you want to use your hand, or do you want to, maybe use like a mixer, or what do you recommend?
Well, it would take a Mondo mixer to get through this.
They have those huge ones.
They do. They're called boat motors. But it's easier. You get a better mix with your hands because you can get more.
All the ingredients packed in there.
So we're going to say it is mixed really well.
Okay.
So then what we're going to do is we're going to grab a meatball size piece of meat.
Okay.
And then we're going to take our mozzarella and we're going to put it right in the middle. And then we're going to envelope it and make sure that it is inside the center of that. And you're going to spend some time rolling it just to seal it. And cheese is going to ooze out of there, and that's okay during cooking. But that's basically all you do.
Oh, look at that.
Put them on there. I also like to put mine on a rack, and that keeps them above the grease and makes them a little healthier. And a little big there.
So you want to flatten it first.
Flatten it almost, and then make an indentation.
Okay.
And then close that meat around there, and then just roll and roll and roll until you've got a nice tight seal around there.
Fantastic.
So anyways, if you'd like to go ahead and grab the finished product out of there.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I was issued a glove.
With his crab gloves.
It has to do one thing.
All right. So typically you used 3 pounds of ground beef. How many meatballs will this make?
Approximately 60 depending on the size.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, or if you go 3 times 16 at an ounce a piece, that's 48. So it really depends on what size you like your balls. Meatballs, I'm sorry. So anyways, here we have the finished product, and maybe Scott can tilt them up so that we can get a nice shot of that.
That looks just delicious. And you say if the cheese is oozing, that's fine.
That's fine.
Okay.
Again, there's a lot of, and again, it's just that technique of trying to get them sealed in there, but so what?
Okay.
It just
And
makes it
then,
pretty.
are you going to let these cool off a little bit before you
Nope,
add the sauce,
nope.
or you add the
What-
sauce?
Yes,
in-
actually put them in the sauce.
Okay. Oh, put them in the sauce.
Yep, and that'll, there
Oh.
we go. Let's get some that aren't oozing.
All right.
Put them in the sauce.
Mix it around
And
a
you
little
don't
bit.
have to, but I think it just helps flavor the sauce a little bit with the meat mixture in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also done a little bit of pasta here.
Look at that.
It'll come right out of the strainer. And again, it's always good to let your pasta sit for a while, otherwise you'll end up with a watery sauce.
Okay.
So then all we're going
Oh,
to
look
do
at that. Homemade
is-
stuffed meatballs.
mozzarella stuffed meatballs, and you can experiment with cheese. And I had a really good idea when I was at the store the other day, and beans that were in cheese curd country.
Yeah.
You could put a cheese curd in the middle
Look
of
at
it.
that. Oh, look at that. We
And
have.
then of course, we're gonna take some nice mozzarella cheese or Parmesan cheese, sprinkle
Perfect.
that on top.
All right. And then
And-
enjoy it.
Basil.
Nice little basil garnish.
Look at that.
And welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're live from Kelly's Furniture and Carpet 1, and we're in the kitchen with Chef Dwayne Wood, also known as D Wood, here around KTVO. And we just made mozzarella stuffed meatballs. And what we're going to do is we'll post the recipe on our website at heartlandconnection.com. We'll post the video, and we'll also post it on our Facebook page. But I want to take this time to let everybody know that this is Chef Dwayne Wood's last day on KTVO with us. His wife accepted a job in Sacramento, and you guys will be moving there and
Yep.
starting your new adventure. So we wanted to say thank you, and we got you something.
Oh, no.
I'm going to cry.
Don't start.
So this is for you, from all of us here at KTVO, for you to remember us. And we
And-
just want to say we had so much fun with you from the very first day you came
Right on.
to today. So
Well, and again, I got to thank you guys. It's been, obviously we've kind of become a family here, and the opportunities and just everything. I enjoy, it's an early morning, but I couldn't, I have no problem doing it. The first show, I was like, well, no more. But it's become a big part of my life, and I think Carol and you and camera people and you and you.
and you and you and you and you and all
Even
the
though
viewers.
you have crabs, but again,
Glove.
yeah. Again, thank you for the opportunity. Do we have time to do a quick recap?
Yeah, just a real quick one.
Okay, Italian gravy, sausage, or you can use sausage actually in there, but onion, garlic diced up, can of tomato, 2 tablespoons tomato paste, some red wine for intense flavor, a can of petite diced tomato sauce, let them meld, get together, get all the onions soft. Again, your mozzarella stuffed meatballs, you're going to mix the ground beef and breadcrumbs and any spices really. You can play with it what you like. And we were talking in the break, this is a great family meal that you can prepare. Again, stuff your mozzarella in there and close it, roll it so that you can get a nice tight seal. And again, as you can see from the finished product, sometimes they will melt out, and that's okay. They seem to be staying. Mix them in your sauce, pour them over your favorite type of pasta, and it is a great Italian dish.
And you say bake this at 40 minutes at 400 degrees. Correct? All right.
Until they get a nice brown crust on them. And again, your sauce will take about 20-30 minutes, which is also a great, quick, easy dinner. If you're running behind, you can come home, make up your sauce, and throw it over your favorite pasta.
All right. Well, what we'll do is we'll post this on our website at heartlandconnection.com. Just click on the Good Morning Heartland tab at the top of your homepage. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm Ella Soroka.
I'm Scott Cullen.
And I'm D. Wood.
Your news will continue tonight with KTVO News at 5, but you can check us out anytime at heartlandconnection.com.
You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Have a great day and weekend, and we'll see you right back here Monday morning at 5:30 a.m.